Alright, I think part of the challenge of this chapter is just understanding what you're being asked to do with the directions. So here we're asked to express in factored form, and then this is kind of helpful. It says with no exponents. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the monomial that they give us and we're going to break it down into all of its factors, so everything that multiplies together to give us that 5x cubed y to the fifth. But with no exponents. So let me start with the variables. These are a little bit easier. So if you have x to the third power, how many x's are we multiplying out? And we're actually going to show that multiplication. X to the third power tells us to multiply that base of x 3 times. So there's your x times x times x. We are also multiplying those x's by all of the y's. So times, we have y to the fifth power. So we're going to multiply the base y 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now we have to look at that coefficient out front. This is the thing people tend to forget. That 5, we do want to break that down into its prime factors. If it has prime factors. If it's already prime, then you can just keep the 5. So, does 5 have any other factors besides 1 and 5? And no, it does not, so that will just stay as a 5 out front because 5 is prime. So that is factored form. We're showing every single factor for 5x cubed y to the fifth, just all multiplied out without the exponents. Alright, so this next one, 24, x to the fourth, y, z cubed. Again, I like to start with the variables just because they're easier to talk about. X to the fourth power tells us that we are multiplying 4 x's times a y, and this y is really to the first power. They just don't bother to write that in for us. So we just have 1y times z cubed. So we're going to multiply 3 of these z's together. Alright, so now let's talk about this 24. Is 24 a prime number? And no, it is not, because it has more factors besides 1 in itself. So the easiest thing to do is off on the side, just go ahead and do your prime factorization with 24. Break it down with your factor tree. 24 is equal to 2 times 12. 2 is prime. 12 is equal to 3 times 4. 3 is prime, and 4 is equal to 2 times 2. Alright, so this prime factorization, starting with the smaller prime numbers, 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So we took 24 and we broke it down into its prime factors. So this 2 times 2 times 3 is actually, move this over, what we want out in front of all these variables. You want a 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times all of the x's, y's, and z's. So don't forget, whatever coefficient you have out front, that needs to be broken down into prime factors as well.